Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hypnosis Hangout. My name is Tracy. I am your hostess of Hypnosis. And tonight we're going to talk about finding an IRL relationship. That's in real life, for those of you who are lower tech, finding an in real life relationship in an online world. And what made me pick this topic today, I didn't quite realize it when I started today, that in about 30 days, I am getting married to a guy. He's here, you just can't see him right, but he's listening in. And it's pretty exciting stuff. And I
Who do you want to message?
Thank you, Siri, for ruining that. And anyhow, so anyhow, I'm really excited about our wedding plans that are coming up. It's a pretty exciting time. I don't think either one of us expected to get married again, or again and again in his case. And anyhow, so I was thinking about today that tracing back to the steps that we took on how to find each other, because we actually met each other online. We met each other on OkCupid. And I, at the time, had been single for 3 years, and Doug had been single for, I think, 5 or 6 years at the time. And, you get bombarded with all these dating apps. You have OkCupid, of course, you have Plenty of Fish, you have Tinder, all these apps out there. And you're just bombarded by just the overwhelm of online dating, and people are constantly messaging you or not messaging you, and there's just a whole series of emotions that you go through when you're trying to find love. And of all the ways that I found that meeting people was the best, I found that online worked very well for me, because with online, perhaps their profile doesn't say exactly what they need to say, but you can read in between the lines of any profile and learn a lot more about people. You can learn a lot about people by the pictures they take. You can learn about what they write about themselves. You can look and see what's important in their life, and then you can make a determining factor whether this is somebody that you want to bring in your inner circle or not. And as I was going through the dating process, trying to find somebody for me, I found out that there was one tool that really helped me narrow down who I would continue to go out with and who I would not continue to go out with. And that tool, I called the rate-a-date system, Tracy's rate-a-date system. And it seems a little silly when you think about it, but basically what I did is I created a spreadsheet, and I picked 10 things that I wanted to have in a relationship. And the 10 things, you create these based on what your needs are. So for instance, for myself, I don't have any kids that I know of. My parents were gone at the time, and so I had no dependents. And what I would find is that when I dated guys with kids, it would be like the guy's job, his ex-wife, kid, and then me. So here I could give 100% of myself to somebody, but I could only get maybe 10 to 20% of them because of their other obligations, and that didn't work so well for me. And so in one of my 10 categories, I put dependence. And I'm probably gonna have to write these down as I go. So with dependence, it could be, are they caring for parents? Parents are also dependents, depending on what age you are. I knew that somebody with little kids was probably not going to be a suitable match for me. And so in my ideal world, out of my 10 things that I was looking for, I put no kids. That's my situation. Of course, looks or body, you can make as one of your 10. Finances, you can make as one of your 10. Location was a biggie. Sometimes you find that perfect person, but they're across the country. I wanted somebody who was within an hour of where I lived. I wanted somebody who shared the same values. And so values would be, honesty, trust, that sort of thing. I also wanted somebody that had similar politics to myself. So all of these go into my 10. And so once you have your 10 items that you're looking for, now you can go through and really hone in on each one of these. So like I was talking with kids, Somebody with no kids for me would get 10 points. Okay. Somebody that had young kids or a lot of kids would get 0 points on my list. And it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means it's not my kind of person, not what I'm looking for. And then I would go through and with politics, okay, I would see, get a general idea of what issues they found important, how did they vote, and if they voted like I did, I gave them a 10. If they voted opposite of what I did, they got a 0. Doesn't mean they're a bad person, just I want someone that votes similar to me. And hello, Rachel and Amy and Doreen. So as we go through this list, all right, you got your 10, and now you're starting to build like a score for somebody. And as you go through these 10, it's really easy when you have a scale of 0 to 100. Okay, everybody went to school. You know that if you get 100%, that's an A. If you get a 90%, that's like an A minus. 80% is a B, 70% is a C, 60% is a D, and so on. So when you go through your magic 10 items and you pick your score and you total it up at the bottom, if you get somebody who's like a solid 50, hey, maybe you shouldn't go out with that person again because they don't meet enough of your criteria. If you meet somebody who's like a 70 or an 80, yeah, maybe give them another chance. And if you meet a 90, definitely pursue that person. And I found that this helped me immensely so that I wasn't spinning my wheels on people that weren't right for me, and that I could focus my energy on those that were right for me. So one of the things that you got to kind of keep in mind throughout this whole thing is a sense of humor. And as you go through and you're meeting people, don't make it like an interview. Try to bring about casual conversation. Don't sit there like with your checklist and so how many kids do you have? Oh, really? 6, 0. That's just kind of rude. But just through casual conversation, you can find out the answers to what you're looking for to see if this is somebody that you want to bring in your life. And I found this tool saved me a lot of heartache. It also helped me manifest what I was looking for in a person. So if I was looking for somebody who lived near me, had 0 kids, had similar values that I did, now I put that out to the universe and I'm manifesting it. And so I did this whole process and I met the guy who's going to be my husband in 30 days. 4.5 years ago we met. And what I didn't realize is that he had actually done the same thing, but on a very different scale. He really sat down and got true to himself and wrote down 35 items that he was looking for in a partner. He kind of looked at his past relationships, realized what worked, what didn't work, and put it into a list, 35 items that he had carried with him. And as we're dating, he was kind of going through the list and saying, okay, she's got that, she's got that, she's got that. And what made us really realize what we were doing is that at the time I was going to a law of attraction meeting because I wanted to meet people that were of the same mindset. And he went with me. And then we realized through this law of attraction meeting that we had actually manifested each other, because I had my list of 10. He had his list of 35. He met 9 out of my 10. I met 34 out of his 35. And the 34 out of 35, I didn't have a boat. And so at our 3rd anniversary, I bought him a boat. It's one of those remote control ones that you can play with on the lake. He didn't specify, so that's his wrong. Anyhow, so we realized that we had manifested each other by composing these lists of what we wanted in a partner. And we made our lists positive. We set positive intentions, because a lot of times when people go through their list, like, well, I certainly don't want another psycho head case again. Well, you just put out to the universe that psycho head case is there because the universe can't negate anything. But if you change your criteria to, I want someone who's free to give me attention. I want someone who votes similar to how I do. You put it all in positive terms instead of, well, I'm tired of that freak show. It makes all the difference, and it helps you manifest better. One of the things I did before coming up with my list is I put out to the universe, I said, you know what, if you just send me somebody to hang out with. And the universe said, all right, we got you. And they sent me a nice man, but oh my God, it was the most boring person I could have ever thought to hang out with. And he spoke so slow. And as I'm spending time with him, I'm like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. And then I realized that was my fault for not being a little more specific about who I manifested, because I just told the universe, send me anybody. And it did. Sent me the first available person it had, and not a good choice for me. So anyhow, he is happily married to someone else. So Mary, you like the remote boat? Yeah. It's really cute. It's, I don't know, maybe 18, 24 inches long. It's not a big boat. So anyhow, so that I hope is helpful for those of you who are out there looking and manifesting what it is that you want in a relationship. Go ahead and just start by making your list of what it is you do want in a relationship, not what you don't want in a relationship. Go ahead and write it out. Give everything a score from 0 to 10. I think one of mine in my list of 10 was fun. And I remember that I went out with this one guy who got a negative number on fun. I didn't think it was possible, but he was just such a stick in the mud, and there was just nothing fun about him. And I just, because I gave it a numerical value instead of a gut feeling, I was able to just concretely say that this is not a good match for me. So there's all different categories that you can use. Okay. And the one thing that a lot of people feel is that they shouldn't be judgmental. And you can be as judgmental as you want. It's your life. This is who you're going to be spending your time with. So not everybody is a perfect fit for you. So don't be afraid to be a little picky about your criteria. For me, going out there and saying, I want somebody with no children. Most people have children. So that was a tough one, but it was a matter of sticking to my guns and just really saying, I want somebody that has no dependence. And sure enough, I put it out there enough and it arrived. So if you have any questions about my process, go ahead and throw it in the comments. I can see them here. I'm going to check the Zoom chat really quick and see if there's anything over there. From a hypnotic perspective, being able to manifest what it is that you want in a relationship is key. And if you are looking for a partner, definitely spend a couple of minutes a day. You could meditate, think about what it would be like to be in that relationship. Think about what it is that you would like to get out of a relationship. That is the whole key. What is it that you're looking for? Get really, really specific. And Mary, I'm reading your comment. Reading, you had no list. The heart wants what the heart wants. You are absolutely right there. Sometimes love overrides those things. And I got nothing to say about that. You're absolutely spot on. And you had a beautiful, loving relationship with him. So, and thank you for your kind words. So let's see, what else can I share with you, what I know about relationships? I think that's pretty much it. One of the tips that I got in creating a profile was make your profile easy breezy. Don't put a lot of thought into it. And I read this and I tried it with my own online profile. I put, easy breezy stuff, and I picked up easy breezy people. And that was irritating because I met a lot of people that were not for me. So I decided to go against the experts, and the experts being the women that write the rules. And I decided to put in my profile very specific things about myself. And I did this because these are deal breakers for a lot of people. At the time, I was touring the world entertaining swingers and nudists. that's not for everybody. I know that right out there. So I started to put that in my profile, that I was a comedian and that I did entertain at nudist resorts and swinger cruises. At one point, I put in there my politics because a lot of people would say things that I didn't agree with. And what I really found is that by being more specific, the people who actually read the profile decided I was not for them. And that was perfectly okay. I am not for every person out there. So really honing in on what is important to you and what you are about, I think is key. Because maybe you'll turn away out of 30 people looking at your profile, 29 you'll not be for, but you're not looking for the 29, you're looking for that one that is all about you. And then what is also really nice is that when I put that in my profile, I could tell who read it. Because if they acknowledged certain things in my profile in their letter, then I knew that this was probably a legit person that was actually looking for a relationship instead of somebody that was just trolling for the most part. So don't be afraid to be who you are in your profile. Don't be afraid to be specific about things that you're looking for, because you're not going to be for everybody, but you're not looking for everybody. You're looking for the one whose message resonates. And so that is the takeaway there. Pictures. I could tell a lot by looking at someone's pictures, what they put in there. And, the stereotypical for women looking for guys, that they put in pictures of their boats, them fishing, their cars, whatever. Just know it's a gadget guy. That's all there is to it. One of the things, though, that was a deal breaker for me is that when I saw pictures of a guy and he wasn't looking directly at the camera, that was a no for me. Because somebody who's afraid to look directly at a camera, I feel, has something to hide. So whenever I saw a guy that had pictures that were always, eyes to the side or looking down, I dismissed those profiles immediately. I want someone who's straight with me, who can look me in the eye. And the camera is a mirror of that. Obviously, the bathroom selfies, if they don't flush the toilet, that's one thing. I did see a few of those. You're like, really? What are you telling me here? So those are things that I looked for. I also looked for, when I was meeting people, did they have relationships with other people? Did they have friends? One of the things that I really liked about Doug is that he had friends and that he had been playing golf with the same group of guys for like 20 years. And that spoke to me, because that tells me that somebody thought enough of Doug to keep him around for 20 years, even if it was just to play golf. So I look for long-term friends like that. When I see people, when I dated guys that didn't have friends or had, very short relationships, that was kind of a turnoff for me, because that tells me that that's not a people person. That's not somebody who values relationships. And so these are just little tweaks that I picked up along the way in looking for different relationships. So I wrote a book some years ago called Hey and Other Scintillating Mating Calls from the Online Dating World. And the book is a collection of emails that I got over a 3-year period from guys that wanted to date me. And they wrote some stupid stuff. A lot of it made my show when I was a comedian. One of my favorite ones that I got was a guy that wrote, hey, because they all start with hey, I like the way your profile has words in it. And you're like, my profile has words in it, so you can read them. And a lot of men read these very same words and decided I was not for them. I hope you'll do the same. And then sometimes, like, I would get really creepy, like long fantasies, like, if we were dating, here's what I would do to you. And it was like a creepy, bad plagiarism from a cheap horror porno novel of some sort. And you're just like, wow, just read my profile and tell me you like Scrabble, dude. That's all I need, right? Just so I don't need all this other crazy stuff. So, so one of them was so wild. And he was like, if I would dress you up in black leather from head to toe because you're the bad one. And I would dress you up in white leather from head to toe because you're the good one. And then we travel the world in my spaceship and we would make all the other space princesses jealous. And, you know, as a comedian, I read that and I was like, look, for the last time, I'm not interested, Tom Cruise. So I had all these crazy, crazy, crazy responses from people. And so if you are responding to someone online, read the profile, mention a couple of things in their profile that you like and that interest you. And, you know, check your spelling and that sort of thing. Use good grammar. And really make it a personal connection. I found that when people copy and pasted stuff, or they just wrote, hey, they're just trolling. They're not really interested in a relationship of any sort. So, and I apologize, I have a cold of some sort. So these are just little tips that I found that when you're dating, when you're out there, there's a lot happening. And I got a note here that says that part of this was lost. So don't worry, I will have a replay for you on my website. So anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. I appreciate you all. And we will be doing another Hypnosis Hangout the first Wednesday of the month. And we might even be doing this weekly. I don't know. I was thinking about it. Anyhow, love you all. Thank you so much. And we'll see you the first Wednesday of next month, if not sooner.